Guys, it's happened. Trump has banned TikTok in the US of A. Are you a TikTok user? Tell me in the comments below if you think this was a good idea or a bad idea for Trump to ban such a popular app so close to the election. In early August, President Trump said that the popular video sharing app had to find a US buyer by September 15th, otherwise it would face a ban. He says that the app poses a national security threat because it's owned by a Beijing-based company, ByteDance. So as a Chinese citizen, at the same time, I've lived, studied, and worked in the US for over a decade. I went to Phillips Exeter Academy, Georgetown University, and did my MBA at Harvard Business School. I want to give you guys what I see as my balanced perspective that sees the issue from both sides. Now, this is a huge deal because TikTok has over 100 million users in the United States. That's over 1/4 of the US population. TikTok, excluding Douyin, which is the China side, has 1 billion users worldwide in less than 4 years, by the way. And the Chinese side, Douyin, which we'll talk about later, has 500 million daily active users. TikTok made $17 billion in revenue in 2019, and its US revenues were expected this year to hit $500 million US. That is before we knew about the ban. What's interesting is that a follow-up order by Trump on August 14th retroactively blocked parent company ByteDance's acquisition of Musical.ly. Never heard of Musical.ly? It was the platform that subsequently evolved into TikTok. Now the plot thickens. ByteDance, the parent company, was getting offers from Oracle and Microsoft to buy TikTok and was getting really close to choosing one of them until the Chinese government intervened. At the end of August, Beijing announced these new export control rules that limits the export of AI and technology and software to foreign governments or foreign companies without Chinese government approval. So TikTok has really sophisticated video recommendation algorithms that would likely run afoul of these export rules. So the new rules mean that any sale must be approved by the Chinese government, which would prefer not to have the US seize control of one of China's most popular global technology platforms. So it looked like the conflicting demands between the US-Chinese governments. ByteDance will not be able to sell TikTok to Oracle or Microsoft, and instead they would just have to shut down the US operations. So this, what I think, is Beijing's FU to Trump. We'd rather shut this down than give it to you. How do you feel about that, Trump? All right, so Trump wants to ban TikTok because he doesn't want American citizens' data in Chinese hands. But it looks like Oracle and Microsoft were just handed over to the US government instead. Both companies actually play a huge role in letting the US government spy on its citizens. And they provide a whole range of tech to law enforcement agencies, such as facial recognition, cloud computing, predictive policing algorithms, many of which rely on social media data. Let's not forget, Oracle first got its start in 1977 when the CIA contracted Larry Ellison to build its database. And as for Microsoft, it started building the New York Police Department's notorious surveillance system in 2009. But what really boggles my mind is that President Trump said that the Treasury should get a cut if TikTok is sold to any US company. What? It seems like the plot thickens as each day goes by. And as I was editing this video, turns out there is some more news. So as of today, Oracle and Walmart they seem to be the winning bidder for TikTok. China's ByteDance, which is the parent company, is seeking a valuation for TikTok of $60 billion US. Crazy! Is it worth that much? Let me know in the comments below. But it seems like Oracle and Walmart are willing to pay for this. So Oracle is going to take a 12.5% stake. Walmart is going to take a 7.5% stake, which means they will pay a combined $12 billion US to have a stake in basically what is the most popular social platform in the world right now. So Oracle and Walmart will buy into a newly established TikTok Global, and it seems like ByteDance will still own about 80% of TikTok Global, which includes the app's operations in the US as well as the rest of the world outside of China. And under the current proposal, there'll be 5 board seats on TikTok Global, of which one of them will be given to the CEO of Walmart. So Oracle has given repeated reassurances that they will protect TikTok user data from foreign influence because they will save everything, all the systems, etc., to the Oracle cloud. Guys, I think that all of our TikTok user data is going to be handed over from Oracle to the US government. So this is actually not the first time that the US government has tried to force a sale or take over a really successful foreign business. If we look at back in 2015, the French company Alstom was forced to sell its energy business to GE. And that was a direct result of US and GE ganging up against it. And its CEO was also jailed as soon as he landed in the US, and there was a big fiasco, and everybody said, this is just corporate stealth. And also, if you look back in 1979 at Toshiba Machine, again, forced sale by the US government. So why is Trump going after TikTok? And remember to leave what you think in the comments below, because I want to hear them. I personally think that Trump had no idea what TikTok even was until earlier this summer in July at his Tulsa, Oklahoma rally. As you will probably know, it was a coordinated effort by K-pop stars and TikTok users that left only 6,200 seats filled in the BOK Center out of 19,000 seats. And the campaign had previously announced that over 1 million tickets were requested. So that was really, really embarrassing for Trump. And I think they tried to do it again to him in New Hampshire. So, Trump, personal vendetta? All right, so now that we have the calendar of events down, let's talk about TikTok and its Chineseness. Before TikTok swept the world and ignited a global teen dance craze, its Chinese version, Douyin, repeat after me, Douyin, was already a massive force in Chinese social media. I remember when it came out in September 2016. And at that time, it was really just a short video app for Chinese boys, millennials, to look at pretty girls that were not wearing very much clothing, sing and lip sync and dance. So it was really seen as kind of a lowbrow thing in 2016 when it came out. In 2017, they launched in iOS and Android and became available outside of mainland China. It didn't hit the US and become a truly global company until 2018 when ByteDance merged with Musical.ly. So I remember people before we were saying, Douyin, it's for like boys. And then slowly as time came on, Douyin kept upgrading the software and upgrading their customer and client to the extent that then my staff were playing with it. Girls were watching it. You'd step into a lift and half the lift would be watching Douyin. And then celebrities started using it. And then luxury brands started getting on it. I still remember when newspaper outlets were getting on it. And that's when it's like, wow. Sometime around 2018, my staff opened a Douyin account for me and I started doing Douyin videos too. So you have TikTok, which is the sort of global version, and Douyin, which is the Chinese version. They're two separate apps, but they do have shared common functionalities. Douyin does have more advanced features though, which would be a sign of what would come for TikTok if ByteDance held onto it. You have to remember that the parent company ByteDance has reached over 1 billion users on all its apps. So there's definitely more development and growth down the line. So let's talk about the difference between TikTok and Douyin. We can first talk about the homepage feature. So here's my phone, showing you all my apps again. I'm gonna do a search for Douyin. Over here, you can see the logo is actually the same as the TikTok logo, it just has a D instead. And then when I go onto the homepage, a woman in her low-cut cleavage. So this is the homepage. Wow. Basically, Douyin and TikTok both have these features where you open and it goes straight to the homepage. And both homepages include trending hashtags, banners, and direct links to videos. Douyin, however, is a little bit more advanced and sophisticated in terms of its homepage. And Douyin also features rankings of top accounts across different categories: luxury, beauty, electronics. Douyin also links to news outlets where there is up-to-date coverage of COVID, including maps where you can see clusters, etc. Now, the second thing I want to show you is the e-commerce functionality. Douyin was the first to offer the option to link your short video to Taobao or Tmall through this little shopping cart. I'm gonna look up a brand that my Harvard Business School classmate founded, which is now taking over China. It's called Perfect Diary, which in Mandarin is 完美日记.
曾经有80元2支的唇釉摆在我面前。
又出新品了，天鹅绒唇釉，全试色啊！今天走起，V01复古红梨。
And so these are all influencers that are pushing his products. Over here you see a little shopping cart. You know what? I'm gonna press on that shopping cart and ta-da! And so I press on that shopping cart and now I get to the Taobao link where I can make a direct purchase. So this is really advanced on Douyin already. TikTok is also following in Douyin's footsteps. They're experimenting with social commerce, and a few accounts have been given the option. All right, point 3, official accounts and sponsor challenges. I'm gonna go into Burberry's account. If I follow it, and on these branded accounts, I have the option to see all their previous hashtag challenges, whereas for TikTok, you can only put, the most recent challenge link in your bio. So it's much more sophisticated for brands to use. Brand accounts on Douyin also feature the brand's ranking if they're a top account, and they can do a direct link to their website. TikTok also does allow you to link to your site, but in terms of brand challenges, the user interface is much more customized and pretty, whereas on the TikTok side, it's just a little bit more plainer. And this is also because the Chinese audience is a bit different from the Western audience. The Western audience likes things minimal, simplistic, but the Chinese audience, we like to see a ton of text, as much text as possible, and a busy user interface that's more entertaining. All right, now for item 4, live streaming. In China, it's a crazy competitive social media environment, and so therefore Douyin actually pushes out more bells and whistles than TikTok has, and one of them is live streaming. Okay, so there's a little plus sign here, and if I click on it, I have a couple different options. I have photos, so I can take a photo. I can do a short video, 60 seconds, 15 seconds. There's actually a movie option, and then there's something called 开直播 down here, which means open up the live stream. Oh, and by the way, like on these live stream things, they automatically put in all these features to make you look like you have a really skinny chin, like a V chin, and make your eyes bigger and make your face whiter. Chinese beauty for you. Then I can see other people's live streams. So for example, whereas for TikTok, live streaming is still very much in a test phase, with the option given to those who have over 1,000 followers. So the last part is long videos, which is kind of counterintuitive for a short-form video platform. But in China, you also have the option on Douyin to view full-length movies. And this really happened because all the cinemas all over China were closed during COVID. The distributor of a blockbuster, Lost in Russia, decided to release Lost in Russia for free on Douyin instead of in cinemas, because at that time, nobody had any visibility over when cinemas would reopen. TikTok, on the other hand, has yet to release such a feature. You have to remember that TikTok and Douyin are actually 2 separate entities. They just happened to have the same parent, ByteDance, which is Chinese. And in fact, founded in 2012 by Zhang Yiming, who now is like a golden child in the tech world in China. So I want to leave you all with a comment that an Instagram follower of mine left me when I posted my WeChat ban video. Make sure you watch that if you haven't yet. And also make sure you follow me on Instagram, Sara Jane Ho, if you don't already. He said, Facebook and Google did not want to comply with China's censorship laws and therefore pulled out of China. They also did not want to have servers located in China. So they were technically not banned per se. TikTok, on the other hand, fully complied with US law, and their servers are located in the US as well as Singapore. So I thought this was really interesting. It's true, and thank you, Will B. Ya, for leaving this comment. I think that Trump has no basis to block TikTok. So, food for thought. I'm Sara Jane Ho. Thank you for watching my video, and make sure you click subscribe, like, and comment below on what you think of TikTok and what you think of Trump wanting to ban it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be posting a new video each week who have tips and tricks that I think will help all of us lead a better life.